everybody. It's Melanie Johnson with Elite Online Publishing. Hey, Jen, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm Jen Foster, and I'm doing great today. I'm excited that we can do this video for Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, we thought it's about time that we get on and just have a chat and give you guys like an audio, video kind of a newsletter of what's going on in publishing, what's happening in the publishing world, and what's going on with our authors to give you some insight, maybe be helpful.
Yeah, so this few minutes, we just want to talk about all of our awesome best-selling authors that have come out in the last month or two. And then we want to give you some insight on some strategies that we've told them and that they've I can't say the word, implemented. I was going to say implied, implemented, and so you can see the difference between just putting your book up on Amazon or actually doing it right and becoming a bestseller.
Yep. So one thing that's real important, we tell all our authors is to make sure they have a book launch team. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But one thing I want to say that I think is really cool, we launched a book for James McEachin this week. And so many people say, oh, well, I'm too old to write a book, or, maybe don't have the energy. James is 91 years old. 91, and he wrote and published his book. So it's never too late to leave your legacy and to write a book. And James was a famous author, or a famous actor in the day. He's been in over 200 TV shows. He was in movies with Clint Eastwood, with John Wayne. John Wayne, that tells you how far back he goes. So never feel like that's going to stop you. You always have something to say at no matter what age that you are. You should be able to tell your story, leave a legacy, and write a book.
Yeah, and you were going to say famous author, which he also is a famous author.
That's
so
true.
He actually has, I think, 5 books, and this was his memoir that he published with us. So check out his book by James McEachin. It's called Swing Low, My Sweet Chariot, and you can hear his whole story. It's a wonderful story, and he's actually a Purple Heart veteran. He was in the Korean War, and so he talks about his experience there too. So it's amazing. And if you are a fan of Matlock or Law and Order or any of those shows, he is on those shows. He's a regular on those shows. So check those out.
Yeah, once you see, when he first called me, which was a year ago, he called me, wasn't quite ready yet. And I didn't know the name, but when I looked up his picture, I was like, oh my gosh, I know this guy. I've seen him. I think he was even on All in the Family as a regular. So I've seen him for all the time. And then we had another book launch this past week with Dr. Laura Murillo, and that went fabulous. And she had an amazing book signing party up at the Post Oak Hotel here in Houston.
Yeah, I missed out. I wasn't able to go, but it looked amazing. The pictures were amazing.
Yeah, but we had Anita Henderson, our book writing coach, and she does the VIP day with me. She flew in to be there with it. And it was just a great, great party. A lot of notable people from Houston were there, including the mayor was there to sing her accolades and all that stuff. So it's real important to have a book signing party. And so we're going to talk about that. Some people think, well, why do I need to do that? Or should I spend money on that? Or it is real important because it brings everybody together. It brings people from your book launch team together. It's an excuse to have a party to celebrate the launch of your book and to sell lots of books. Authors have sold anywhere from 100 to 1,000 books at their book signing party because people want to come, and depending on the year, like just right now, it's getting close to holiday time. So people are picking up 3, 4, 10 books. Some bought 25. I think some people might even buy 50. You can sell them to bulk people for if it's with a company, they could buy it for their whole company while they're there at your book signing. And it just creates a lot of excitement, gives another reason for social media. So that's why we say you should do a book signing party. And it doesn't necessarily have to be super fancy. If you don't want, you could do it at your house. You could get sponsors to sponsor the food and giveaways. So definitely consider doing a book signing party, even if it's years after your launch. You could do a book signing party.
I heard of a girl, I actually have this in my book called Books to Bucks, but this girl wrote this book about quilting, and she does a book signing party every single year, and sometimes twice a year at the quilt shop. And she has people come, and because it's different people every time, right? Because different people shop there, and maybe it's the same people, but they're coming there. And then if she said, she can announce her second book, right? So it's really important. When I did my book signing party, which Melanie and I consult on this all the time. If you need consulting on book signing party, let us know. But when I did my book signing party, I thought, why would I do one? Like, no one's going to come. And, I have network a lot. So I know a lot of people, I invite people, but I don't know who's going to come. And I'll tell you, my first book signing party, I rented out I actually didn't rent it, but I asked and she sponsored it, right? A salon that had a New York vibe. So it had beautiful walls of New York City, and we had a chocolate fountain, and we had sparkling water and regular water, and we had a piano. And one of our authors, John Wright, plays the piano. So he came in and played the piano. And it was just beautiful. And people came, and we had door prizes sponsored. Everyone donated the door prizes, and we handed those out. People got their books signed, bought the books. And it turned out, I mean, I had probably less than 100 people there. Maybe it was only 50. I don't know how many, but the opportunity of having it, I put it on Facebook Live. So I had my video set up and recorded the whole thing. And then I had pictures taken with every single person that bought a book. So then it was opportunity to tag that person, to have me. So it was really great for social media, really great to have a book signing party, even if you think no one's going to come. And I'll tell you, even if it was only my sister and my mom that came, it still would have been okay, because I would have gotten 3 pictures, right? So,
but you would still advertise it on social media. You would have promoted it, and it gets people involved. Like, oh, wow, look at that. She's doing this stuff and how cool that is. And like you say, you can connect with clients that you're going to invite there. And then the place that you had it at, it was exposure for them. So they got all this free exposure for being your venue to do it. So definitely do a book signing party. And I love the idea of doing one a year. Make an excuse, even if it's like, oh, I'm gonna have a Christmas party / book signing party or whatever. You can combine those two things. I think that's just a great idea.
Yeah, great idea. So let's talk about the launch team a little bit before we sign off here. We went on the book signing party, but let's talk about the launch team, because that's different. Because you have a book signing party, but you also, with us, we do a book launch. So we actually have a book release day. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so it's real important. I mean, when you work with a good company, no matter who your publisher is, we have a whole marketing and campaign that we do with our authors to make sure their book is really promoted and blown up. But the idea also behind the book is for you to engage with your list and to grow your list, right? So we always say you need to create a book launch team. So the definition of a book launch team is you don't have to take everyone that's on your list. I always say it's like a wedding. Like, you're not going to invite everybody to the wedding. You're going to invite specific people that you know are going to show up, bring nice gifts, and have a great time, and that you care about. So it's kind of the same way for the book launch team. You want to make sure you invite people that you know are going to buy your book, number one, and share all the excitement on social media to get other people to buy your book. So you want to do this well in advance. We've got a couple authors that they're just great with communicating with their tribe. They're like, as soon as they sign with us, we've got an author right now, Bob Brantner. He does fiction books, and he just signed to do his second book that's coming out. And he's like, all right, I'm sending my first email out right now. The book's not going to be coming out for 3 or 4 months, but I'm already going to start to communicate with my people. So that's what you have to do, is create that conversation, create that excitement and that momentum. Otherwise, you're just kind of, if you do it a few days before, you're losing a whole opportunity of people that maybe you could have reached out to or you didn't think about it. So plan ahead. That's the idea. Make sure you start with the planning. We give templates to our authors of what you can say, and then you can edit from there to make it sound like you, and start to communicate with them right away, get them involved, and think about companies that might share that email to their whole staff. Think about all the different connections you may have that you can share that out. So if you try and do it last minute, then you're going to kind of lose that opportunity of hundreds of book sales that you may have had if you hadn't done that. So make sure you do a book launch team. When we work with our authors, we have a whole portal, author portal, that talks extensively on book launch team and what they're supposed to do, and step-by-step instructions that we coach them through along the way. So it's real important that you do a book launch team and that you start early. Those are the 2 things I would say.
Yes, definitely. Those are really great tips on the launch team. And speaking about the author portal, that's something new that we have added. So every author that works with us has this cool little membership site that they can go into and get all the resources that they need whenever they need them. So PDFs and videos and how-tos, and of course we guide along the way and when you work with us, but it's a really great tool. We actually just launched in the last couple months a marketing portal. So we have an elite author marketing portal that we have released. And right now it's only exclusive for our authors, but we are thinking about, so you can let us know in the comments if you'd be interested, if you're an author, about releasing this to every author and any author who wants to boost their marketing. And so it'll be a membership site and it'll be a monthly membership. So leave in the comments if you think that it'd be something that you might want. But right now, all of our authors are loving it. The new authors that have come on board get the marketing portal. Our past authors, we're going to offer it to them if they want to join the membership. But the current authors that we're working with get it and they are loving it. It is just so great to kind of know what to expect, to know how to market the book after the book is out. Because a lot of times you publish your book and then it's like, okay, we're done. That's the end. We're done. No. There's marketing. You have to get people to buy your book. You have to push to get people to buy your book. And I think we just looked up the other day. What was it, Melanie? The average book only sells how many copies?
250 copies. And there's only, out of the millions of books that are published, like everyone's like, I'm going to sell 1 million books, which is an awesome goal. I think everybody should have that goal. But they said out of the millions of books that get published every year, really, it's like about 1 million books that get published every year. Only 20 of those books may hit 1 million sales. So that's not very, very much. That's like 0.002%, I think. So just think about it. It's not the front end of the sales of books, which is important, but it's also the back end of having that book work for you, get clients for you, giving you credibility. That's the big important part of using it to get grow your business and get new revenue in on that way. But that's the biggest question I think we get. How do I sell more books? And I want to say this, for every book you give away, is just as important or more important than the book that you sell.
Yes.
Because that book can turn into revenue for your company, or it turns into more book sales that other people are raving about it if they read your book. So remember, it's just as important to give away as many books as you can as it is to sell.
Yeah, I once heard the phrase, or maybe I'm just thinking it up now, I'm not sure, but you want to have more book sales, yes. But what about just getting more readers of your book? Because think if you had, let's just pick a number, let's say 250. If you had 250 people read your book this year or this month or this quarter or whatever, how many of those 250 people would tell someone else to go read your book, right? If you have good value, good content, or if it's your memoir, or if it's a fiction book and someone loves your book, they're going to tell someone else. Word of mouth is one of the best advertising. So get more readers. So giving away your book is a great, great tool. Now we've talked almost 15 minutes here, so we're not going to keep on going, but we want you to know that we have a lot of information and we are happy to share it. So let us know what topics you want us to talk about. And we're going to come on here pretty regularly and give you more information about publishing, because publishing changes every day, and the publishing world, Amazon, everything changes. So we like to stay on top of it and make sure that we have the cutting edge of what's going on in publishing.
Yep. Thanks. And thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.